Hey guys, as you can see, there's a little bit of a change of scenery here, and that is from me taking my wife on our first 1 year anniversary trip. But unfortunately, work doesn't stop, and neither does the ANC government stop doing absolutely horrendously stupid things that put all of our lives in a worse off position than they were before they did them. This week is no different, as we have received information of more Iranian soldiers here on South African soil working together with the ANC government in yet another project. You see, the US and Iran war has just been running for over 5 months now, and despite the fact that this conflict has been dominating the geopolitical landscape for most of this year, the South African government still refuses to provide us, its citizens, answers about a recent joint naval operation held in South African waters along with the Iranian Navy that is currently blocking the Strait of Hormuz. And this week, the entire matter was amplified and escalated when us here at the Willem Petzer Group even received footage of what a resident of the Overberg municipality claims are Iranians receiving training in drone operations at the Overberg Air Force Base. Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to expose several signs pointing to the fact that our government is hiding a massive lot from us concerning its military relationship with the Iranian regime. You see, over the past decade, South Africa and Iran have been immensely strengthening their military alliance. Just under 10 years ago, in December 2016 already, South Africa and Iran signed a broad defense and military memorandum of understanding. This covered defense cooperation between the two countries, maritime security, exchanging experience, and combating organized crime and so-called terrorism. In the memorandum, which resulted from the first ever visit of a defense minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran, both countries stressed that they would work together militarily to promote regional and international stability and security. Just a year ago, in August 2025, the South African National Defence Force Chief General Ruzani Mapwanya visited the Iranian capital of Tehran and toured Iran's Army Command and Staff University, known as Dafus. Iranian officials proposed exchanges of students and teaching staff and said they expected South African students in the academic term beginning in September 2025. Mapwanya expressed enthusiasm for military cooperation with the university and the Iranian regime. During this visit, Mapwanya also condemned what he described as crimes against humanity committed by Israel, emphasizing that South Africa strongly denounces Israel and stands with the Islamic Republic of Iran. During the same visit, Iran also offered to share its military, technical and industrial capabilities with South Africa, while both sides discussed turning their relationship into a concrete military project. And indeed, earlier this year, merely weeks before the war between Iran and the United States of America, the Iranian Navy participated alongside China in the January 2026 so-called Will for Peace naval exercise in South African waters, which focused on maritime interoperability and operational training. According to reports back then, at the time, Ramaphosa, aware of the conflict brewing with the United States of America, convened a meeting with senior officials including his national security advisor, the Minister of Defense, and military veterans, the Minister in the Presidency, and the Minister of International Relations, during which he instructed that Iran should serve only as an observer rather than active participant in this exercise. Despite this, however, 3 Iranian warships still continue to participate in this exercise, which means that our generals actually didn't give anything for whatever Ramaphosa was saying. They just continued their military cooperation with Iran. However, following the outbreak of the US-Israeli war against Iran on 28 February, Ramaphosa condemned the attacks on Iran as violations of international law and demanded an immediate cessation of hostilities. The United States subsequently pressured Pretoria to distance itself from Iran, but the ANC government, or the GNU actually at this stage, the Government of National Unity, refused bluntly. And in March, DIRCO Director General Zain Dangor issued an official statement saying South Africa had no reason whatsoever to cut ties with Iran. Moreover, when Iran proposed what would have been a highly favorable memorandum of understanding with the United States in mid-June, the ANC-led Government of National Unity in South Africa immediately jumped at the opportunity to endorse this. And just a couple of weeks ago, the South African Communist Party, which had been governing this country as an alliance partner of the ANC for over 30 years already, condemned the conflict as an imperialist war, openly expressing solidarity with Iran. And what is particularly interesting is the sudden growth of Iranian social media propaganda accounts in South Africa. Since the Iran war began just over 5 months ago, Iran's Pretoria embassy has become one of Tehran's most successful diplomatic social media accounts, growing from approximately just 4,000 followers before the war to more than 150,000 followers within the first 2 months after this war broke out. This is the absolute evidence that the Iranian government has identified specifically South Africa as a receptive environment for continued diplomacy and alliances, even in the midst of a war with the world's largest superpower. And this just shows to you that the South African government really positions itself in a manner that shows that it has no fear whatsoever of the United States military, as it is now openly probably one of Iran's biggest allies. But the big twist came just a couple of weeks ago when it was revealed that an investigation concerning Iran's participation in January's naval operations in South African soil has been stalled, despite the fact that back in January the Minister of Defense had promised to have a report ready within a week. We are now 7 months later and there is absolutely nothing of this sort. So the background to this investigation was the fact that Iran had continued to participate in the January naval drill, even despite the fact that Ramaphosa commanded that they should withdraw at the last minute. He still granted that they could be present, but only as observers. Despite this, South Africa's Navy Chief, Vice Admiral Monde Lobese, publicly celebrated Iran's participation in defiance to his own president. And Iranian sailors even took part in the closing ceremony. As a result, Ramaphosa appointed a 4-member panel consisting of 3 judges and a rear admiral to investigate the matter. What exactly is there to investigate? The Iranians participated even though the president said that they shouldn't, and nobody has done anything about it. You see, Ramaphosa gave the committee until 26 March to produce a report of the investigation. At this time, he noted that an extension of this deadline would be permitted only if compelling cause was shown. But as things stand today, we still have nothing. No report, no explanation. This, of course, raises the far more serious question of whether elements within South Africa's military establishment were prepared to disregard the elected president and commander-in-chief in order to continue their military cooperation with Iran. And then, why, months later, nobody has been held publicly accountable for this? Because either Ramaphosa's order was blatantly ignored by senior military officers, or the public has been misled about what the content of that meeting he held with senior officials really was. But 6 months later, and 5 months into the war between the US and Iran, our own GNU government still refuses to tell South African citizens which explanation of the two is true. And the question of whether we will ever know also remains an open one. Because in his official February 26 statement on the matter, the presidency emphasized that, and I quote, President Ramaphosa may, on the recommendation of the panel and the minister, decide to publicize or not to publicize all or any portion of the outcomes of this investigation. You see, these are the types of questions we here at the Willem Petzler Group are prepared to ask when no one else does. We are dedicated to standing up for the hard-working taxpayers of this country by holding those in power accountable. If you want to support our cause, you can do so by becoming a patron today. Simply follow these easy steps on the banner at the bottom of your screen. And now, to top it all off, a resident of the Overberg District Municipality sent us here footage of what local residents in Overberg allege are Iranian soldiers staying at the local hotel in Waarneyskrans and receiving training in the operation of military drones here in South Africa. You see, what makes the South African government's prolonged silence on this issue of its military cooperation with Iran so immensely worrisome is the fact that it comes at a time when the world's foremost military and economic superpower is now locked into a prolonged conventional war with the state, which South Africa has a standing military agreements with and a record of joint military operations with, and allegations of training its soldiers. Under these circumstances, South Africa has an absolute right, or South African citizens has an absolute right to know whether or what the status of these agreements is, or whether officials inside our defense establishment are still maintaining commitments to Tehran. Because if South African military knowingly place their relationship with Iran above a direct command from our own president, the consequences could extend far beyond this war, especially when the United States of America starts taking notice at what South Africa is doing. And this could expose South Africa to American sanctions, intelligence restrictions, defense blacklisting, lasting diplomatic retaliations, or even worse, while creating the impression that our territory, institutions, and military expertise may be available to a country actively in a war with the United States of America. Yet, instead of clearing South Africa's name, Ramaphosa and his government of national unity has allowed the investigation to disappear behind closed doors. Not a single party in this government of national unity has raised any voice to our joint military cooperation with Iran and has raised any voice in order to give more transparency to us, the citizens of South Africa, as to what exactly is going on with this military cooperation with Iran. This government of national unity is merely postponing the deadline time and time again, not giving any answers to us. And with every month that passes without an answer, the suspicion only grows that this delay is no longer about establishing what actually happened, because it is actually quite clear to us what happened. It could be one or two things, but about hiding what is really going on with the military relationship between South Africa and Iran. Because even now, despite all these recent developments that I talked about in this video, President Cyril Ramaphosa and his government of national unity retains discretion over whether any part of the eventual report, should there ever be a report, will ever even be made public. In a recent video, we emphasized how the death of Ayatollah Khamenei signaled the death of one of the ANC's last real international allies. You can watch that full analysis by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And if you watch this video all the way to the end, we want to thank you for the gift of your time. We work very hard to produce videos of this quality every single day, and we are truly glad you enjoyed it so much that you stayed until now. Remember to tune in on this channel for brand new content every single day. Goodbye and God bless.